As you can see, the yurt is almost back up to normal. I have been just putting tiny little beams across to try to get rid of all the water sacks. I do need to poke that area up a little bit more to make it drain a little bit faster. But most of the leaks, the big leaks at least, have been broken pieces that needs to be replaced completely. But most of the leaks have now been fixed. So I'm feeling pretty confident that the yurt is now fairly strong, especially once I put the additional 2 beams up here when it dries out. Assuming it doesn't, you know, that we don't get another huge major storm here before it dries out and I get a chance to get out here and put the 2 supporting beams to make this 4 pieces in the center here to support the whole unit. Once I do that, I feel pretty confident that the roof will stay up unless we hit a hurricane, which, you know, is likely because we are in Florida and hurricane season is coming up. But I'm hoping that we can at least get to actually camp out here before the whole unit gets destroyed. Anyhow, you can see here, it seems to be doing really well now as far as repelling the water. There are a few little tiny leaks I'm going to have to deal with on a case-by-case basis. But I'm pretty happy with the repairs. The roof itself is about probably about 4 to 6 inches lower than before. I tried pressing it back up, but I couldn't, you know, really press it too hard because all the beams will snap. But the tighter I could make it and the higher I could push it up, the better. The area there is still a little bit flat. I don't know if it's that visible here on the video, but so I'm gonna have to put some pieces to jut up to kind of poke at the tarp to make it so that there's an incline and the water will run down. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the repairs. Things are starting to look a little bit better. But as you can see, the floor looks like crap. I've broken a lot of tiles by walking on it. And looking at all this mud and stuff that I track in, I'm not sure it's worth having the tiles here. Although not having the tiles, the whole floor will be like nothing but mud. So what I'm thinking, because I need wood, and I don't know if I can find any more wood in the compound unless people have dumped some more wood. I'm going to disassemble this floor, and if I can, I'm going to try to make or get a rake. Probably have to make one or buy one from someplace. I don't want to spend too much money on it, but I'll have to rake the ground to make it level and try to make mud, and then lay the tiles directly on the mud. I think that's going to be a better option than raising it up like I have right now and having it break with no mud or anything to hold the tiles in place. Walking on it made everything break. So it looks like I'm going to have to disassemble this floor, the tiles, and pick up some of the wood here and other components and take them back out to the yurt and put the doors back on the yurt itself, as well as take some pieces to make a walking path on the bridge, because I think the bridge is too dangerous as it is right now. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. Being out here in the rain was really helpful because I could actually watch where the water was collecting, and I could adjust the roof line, you know, by putting a beam there to poke it out a little bit more so that the water doesn't keep collecting. Now that in theory will allow the rain to run off fast enough that it doesn't collect unless it pours down really fast, which I want to be in here when it is doing that one day, just to watch how the yurt behaves and to try to brace up or keep certain areas from collapsing. Because you can't really tell until you actually put it under field test to see how it actually behaves when the rain's pouring down. Right now it's just been like sprinkling, so you know, we've only been looking at little areas where the water has gathered, and I'm fixing it as I notice them.